আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আজকের নিউজ হচ্ছে ইংল্যান্ডের 5 মিনিস্টার ঋষি সুনাক বলেছে পানিপথে যারা আসবে তাদেরকে ইংল্যান্ডে ঢুকতে দেওয়া হবে না। তো আমার মনে হয় সবাইকে এই নিউজটা দেখা উচিত, যারা দেশ বিদেশে যারা থাকে সবাইকে এটা খেয়াল করা উচিত। তো এই নিউজটা যখন দেখবেন তখন আর আসল পরিস্থিতিটা বুঝতে পারবেন। খবরটা হচ্ছে বিবিসি থেকে নেওয়া।
That will damage the UK's interests and reputation at home and abroad. Justin Welby said it wouldn't fulfil the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's pledge to stop the boats and ignored the two key causes of international migration, the climate crisis and war. But the Immigration Minister, Robert Jenrick, said Justin Welby was wrong and that the bill would be a serious deterrent. Well, here's Justin Welby outline why, in his opinion, the UK government's proposals don't tackle the problem.
Even if this bill succeeded in temporarily stopping the boats, and I don't think it will, it won't stop conflict or climate migration. The IPCC forecasts that climate change by itself, let alone the conflicts it's already causing, will lead to at least 800 million more refugees a year in total by 2050. And what if other countries follow suit? The UNHCR has warned that the bill could lead to the collapse of the international system that protects refugees. Is that what we want the United Kingdom's contribution to be in our leadership?
Well, let's speak to our political correspondent, Ian Watson, who's in Westminster. So, Ian, Justin Welby didn't hold back, using language like morally unacceptable, damaging the UK's interests at home and abroad. Why did he feel the need to make this intervention today?
I think he did because he's had a long-standing opposition to the government's policy. So when the government announced their intentions to deport people who arrived by illegal routes to Rwanda, he certainly denounced that and suggested the government's policy was ungodly. He obviously wants the UK to be seen as a safe haven for refugees. He also quoted the Bible today as well, and suggested that we should be opening our house to strangers. So what he was effectively saying is that he worried about people from the poorest parts of the world perhaps being discriminated against here. And he does have a seat as head of the Church of England in the unelected House of Lords, so he does have this platform from which to make his arguments. I think from the government's point of view, they think he does not have a monopoly on deciding what is moral and what isn't. Their argument is that it is perfectly moral for them to say, look, people are losing their lives in the English Channel, people coming to this country, and people smugglers are profiting from this, and trying to stop that trade is a moral as well as a political issue. Now, obviously that argument is going to rage, but I think what was important about him intervening today is that the House of Lords is now considering this illegal immigration legislation for the first time. They're going to be scrutinising it line by line towards the end of this month, and what I think is likely to happen is they're going to be making changes which the government in the House of Commons, the lower house, managed to see off, including from some of their own supporters. So, for example, two former Conservative Party leaders, Theresa May and Ian Duncan-Smith, have been very keen to ensure that people who say they are victims of modern slavery, for example, will be taken seriously, will be allowed to give evidence against people that they're accusing, and they think this bill would simply see people who claim that, perhaps to have those claims rejected and also to be either deported back to the country from which they came, or indeed ultimately to Rwanda. So they're worried on that score. There's lots of worry too amongst people across the political spectrum, but whether there are enough sufficient safe and legal routes to come into this country. That's certainly one of Justin Welby's concerns, but it's more widely shared. And I think there will be an attempt to try to increase the number of safe and legal routes into the UK while the rest of the House of Lords debate this issue in the coming months.